Welcome back for another edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted, the program where you get to help make Calhoun County a better and safer place. I'm your host, Chris Wright, along with Calhoun County Sheriff Matthew Wade. You still at the point where somebody says sheriff, you look around to see where Larry Emerson is?
I do. It's still weird. So people said that's weird, and I said yes, it's still weird. So it's been a busy 4 weeks so far, and things are going good. The building's standing, nobody's quit, and we're doing great and wonderful things. And I got a great group of people working for me. You know, I don't want it to be about me as much as it's about us. You know, we're trying to serve our people, and they're doing a great job. I'm proud of them. I'm
sure you had a challenge this past weekend with race week, and now we got another challenge coming up, Halloween weekend.
Absolutely. You know, there was no band order. Please, nobody burn anything. It's terribly dry. So we had probably, I don't know, we worked the North Campground. We had probably 10 or 15,000 people in the North Campground, and they couldn't have campfires. You throw in alcohol. Cool. It was cool. It was cold at night, and throw in alcohol with that. Our guys had some challenges, but we didn't have any campfires, and everybody was safe and on both ends of the spectrum, and people enjoyed the race and brought lots of money to Calhoun County, and that helps our economic condition, and it's really a good thing, and we're proud of that. But Halloween is coming up, and you know, we're going to put out some tips on our Facebook page. We're going to make sure that all of the sex offenders that we have registered, you can go on our website and see where these people are if you would like to make sure they're not on your route for trick-or-treating. And if we catch them trick-or-treating, we will put them in jail. They know that. Our sex offender registration tracking officer makes sure he communicates that with them very well, and we will have deputies checking on them during that time.
I feel silly asking this, but what about the creepy clowns? I know we're going to have some people out in those costumes.
I know, you know, and just wearing a clown costume is not illegal. That's not what those people were arrested for that we got doing it back. They weren't arrested because of a fake Facebook account that had a clown on it. They were arrested for their actions and the things they said. So just remember, you know, somebody can wear a clown outfit. It's not, that doesn't make them illegal. It's their actions that they do that would cause us to take an action. And Halloween needs to be a time of fun, but everybody needs to make sure they're safe. It's a big thing. I went and watched Medea's new movie Saturday, and they had clowns in there, you know, so it's going to be a big deal. But if people just use good common sense, I know sometimes we say there's no common sense left in the world, but if you're going to dress as a clown, don't walk around with a fake gun or a big machete and scaring people, because you don't know what might could happen.
Just because you think it's funny doesn't mean it's acceptable behavior. Somebody else might not take it the same way, and we have to be safe.
We have to be safe, and I want everybody to get lots of candy and have a good time without any problems.
All right, let's take a look at the count for this week. How do we do as far as getting arrests?
Hey, 6 arrests brings our count up to 3,841 people. All because somebody's willing to get involved, and we cannot do this alone. So.
All right, so that's thanks to you, the viewers. We appreciate you calling that information in, and we will have this week's lineup coming up in just a moment when we come back on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
Ford brand has always brought you impressive style and legendary quality, and Sonny King Ford brings you the lowest price and the largest inventory, new or pre-owned. The new 2015 F-150 gets the best gas mileage of any truck without giving up its powerful towing capacity. The iconic new 2015 Mustang, with its classic pony car looks and hunkered down stance, preserves a legacy that defines American motoring. For over 93 years, Sonny King Ford, for the best cars and best price.
Amazing grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
a crackhead, drug addict, alcoholic, meth freak, a rich
like me.
I once was
Homeless,
broken, sad,
just lost.
but now I am
Sober,
happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
AOD Federal Credit Union. You already know their friendly staff and great loan products. So here's reason number 8 to choose AOD FCU, a new all-platinum Visa credit card. Call 1-800-637-0299 or visit AODFCU.com to start earning 1% cash back on purchases. Your good credit earns you a better rate. A new Platinum Visa card. Another reason you belong at AOD Federal Credit Union.
I have a lot of land that I have to keep up. I'd recommend Mahindra. I've never had any trouble with mine. Like I said, I do a lot of bush hogging. I do a lot of garden tilling. The service department has been great. Every time I've ever called or needed anything done, they have done it for me.
Hey folks, come see us at Foothills Tractor. We're your one-stop shop for anything you need. Locally owned, locally operated, give you the best customer service guaranteed.
Hi, I'm Katina Houston Stroud with Family Links, and instead of the family tip this week, I want to talk about a fun event that Family Links has put together. It's Red Ribbon Week across the nation, and our celebration of the youth in our community who want to be drug and bully free is an event called I'd Walk a Mile to Be Drug Free, Takeover Thursday. This event will take place Thursday, October the 27th from 4:30 to 5:30 at Zen Park. It's a 1-mile walk beginning at Zen Park and ending at Zen Park, but you don't actually have to do the walk. We'd love for you to do the walk. It's going to be kind of like a parade, but there will be free face painting, free food, free water, free games, free stickers, and free candy, and things for the kids to get involved in. And just an opportunity for our community to come together and support the youth in our community who want to be drug and bully free. So don't miss out. This Thursday, Family Links, I'd Walk a Mile to Be Drug Free, Takeover Thursday, Zen Park, 4:30 to 5:30. And I can't wait to see you there.
And welcome to this week's edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted. First up on our lineup this week, LaTarsha Chapman. Miss Chapman, last known to be living in Oxford. She's wanted for failure to pay on theft of property first. And take a look at Jennifer Passmore. Miss Passmore, last known to be living in Oxford. She's wanted for failure to appear on writing multiple worthless checks. And meet Kenneth Bowman. Mr. Bowman, last known to be living in Anniston. He's wanted for a probation violation on attempted controlled substance crime. And this is Lee Breimer. Mr. Breimer, last known to be living in Ohatchee, he's wanted for probation violation on burglary third. And take a look at Crystal Pruitt. Miss Pruitt, last known to be living in Jacksonville, she's wanted on a bond revocation for theft by deception second. And we'd like you to meet Christina Broom. Miss Broom, last known to be living in Cedartown, Georgia. She's wanted for failure to appear on theft of property second. And last up for the first half of our lineup, Thomas Bird. Mr. Bird, last known to be living in Oxford. He's wanted for failure to appear on possession of marijuana second. And that's it for the first half of our lineup. Stay tuned for the second half later in the show.
We'll have the rest of the lineup here in just a few minutes. Also, our Crime Stoppers segment coming up and our Crazy Criminal of the Week. You won't believe the tree that got arrested. We'll explain that later. But right now, we want to welcome Probate Judge Alice Martin onto the show. Good to see you, Judge Martin.
Good to see you, Chris. Sheriff.
She's the best probate judge I know.
All right. Well, we've got you on the show today because it is almost time for America to vote.
That's right.
We've got a big election coming up, and we need to be prepared. You don't wait until voting day to get ready for voting, do you?
That's exactly right. And the sheriff can tell you all about what's going down at his office this
Today
week.
the truck rolled in, just before we came here today, the truck rolled in. We got the forklift out, and we have all of the ballots and all the materials that goes along with the election at the sheriff's office. So,
have you filled them in yet?
we're working on that. Actually, people that don't know, the probate judge, the sheriff, and the circuit clerk are the canvassing boards. They're the ones who conduct and hold the election every time there is an election. And there's a lot of background work that goes into it. It's just not show up on election day and the stuff's there. So the judge orders it, it comes to the sheriff's office, and it comes in big pallets, and we have to organize that into our 45 polling locations in the deputy sheriff's. We'll be delivering that when the time comes. So it's a lot of work that goes into getting it, organizing it, making sure these inspectors and polling locations have everything they need. And the judge, this is months worth of work for her. So
we're in the process right now conducting inspector schools this week and next week. And then we will have our poll worker school, the big one, on November 3rd. And then we'll be ready for November the 8th, which is the general election.
There has been some talk nationwide about a rigged vote. And certainly there are things that happen in any election where somebody tries to gain an advantage in ways that may or may not be legal. But for someone to try to rig a national vote, to me it just seems amazingly difficult on that scale, because voting in Calhoun County is not the same as it is in other counties and parishes and such around the country. There are so many different systems, aren't there?
Well, in Alabama, you have to have a photo ID to vote. And I think that's important that the voters remember that, because it's only been a few years since that law became active. But it's very important for the voters to remember to bring their photo ID. Another thing that I want to remind the voters of is that we've just recently had city elections. Now, the sheriff and the circuit clerk and I are not involved in city elections, but I want to remind the voters that the precinct that they vote in for city elections may not be the precinct that they would vote in for our county, state, and federal elections. I think it's really important, if the voter is unsure of where they are to vote on November the 8th, that they contact the Board of Registrars, and I can give you that number, and I believe that they're going to run it on the screen. But our local Board of Registrars phone number is
256-241-2930.
Thank you. And you can ask the board member that answers the phone to give you the information about your polling place.
And it's important to go ahead and do that now, because that number will be active on election day.
Absolutely.
But it's going to be busy, and the reality is if you wait until that time, you're probably going to get so frustrated that you end up not voting.
Absolutely. And another way to find out exactly where you are to vote on Election Day, November the 8th, you can go online to the Secretary of State's website, and that's sos.alabama.gov. You will click on Elections at the toolbar at the top of the page, and then there is a icon that says My Polling Place. Click on that, and you put in your last name and your birth date and the county in which you reside, and it will give you your polling location.
Now, if somebody is at this point saying, well, that's great, but I haven't yet registered to vote, where can I do that? Unfortunately, at this point for this election, it's already too late.
That's correct, Chris. The voting registration cutoff was October 24th. And so for November the 8th, if you are not yet a registered voter in Alabama, you would not be able to vote in the November 8th general election.
All right. So what are some things that actually we really need to get into, and we don't have enough time yet. We'll come back after the break, I think, and talk more about what's actually going to be on the ballot, because everybody knows Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton will be on the ballot.
Yes.
But that's not all that's going to be on the ballot. We've got several things that people may not be aware that they're voting on, and it's important that they have some information about those things before they vote.
You're exactly right.
So we'll talk about those when we come back here in just a second on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
Thank you.
Ready for a new ride? Get ready for Rig. I'm Rig A. Marole, and I am ready with all the fancy jargon, made-up expenses, marketing gimmicks, and flat-out lies that you've come to expect when you go car shopping. You want to pay way too much for a piece of junk like this? Get a load of me, Rig A. Marole, at your neighborhood used car dealer. I'll have you marolling off this lot in your new vehicle.
I'm Marty Boyles, and I guarantee no rigmarole here at Jacksonville Auto Sales. Just good cars and trucks at fair prices. We're in Jacksonville across from Walmart, or find us on the web at jascars.com. Remember, Jacksonville Auto Sales, home of the no rigmarole deal.
I have a lot of land that I have to keep up. I'd recommend Mahindra. I've never had any trouble with mine. Like I said, I do a lot of bush hogging. I do a lot of garden tilling. The service department has been great. Every time I've ever called or needed anything done, they have done it for me.
Hey folks, come see us at Foothills Tractor. We're your one-stop shop for anything you need. Locally owned, locally operated, give you the best customer service guaranteed.
Amazing. Amazing Grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
A crackhead, drug addict, alcoholic, meth freak, a wretch like me.
I once was.
Homeless,
Broken. Sad.
just lost. But now I am sober.
Happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
The Ford brand has always brought you impressive style and legendary quality, and Sonny King Ford brings you the lowest price and the largest inventory, new or pre-owned. The new 2015 F-150 gets the best gas mileage of any truck without giving up its powerful towing capacity. The iconic new 2015 Mustang, with its classic pony car looks and hunkered down stance, preserves a legacy that defines American motoring. For over 93 years, Sonny King Ford, for the best cars and best price.
AOD Federal Credit Union. You already know their friendly staff and great loan products. So here's reason number 8 to choose AOD FCU, a new all-platinum Visa credit card. Call 1-800-637-0299 or visit AODFCU.com to start earning 1% cash back on purchases. Your good credit earns you a better rate. A new Platinum Visa card. Another reason you belong at AOD Federal Credit Union.
And welcome back for the second half of our lineup. First up this half, Jonathan Patterson. Mr. Patterson, last known to be living in Roopville, Georgia, wanted for probation violation on theft of property first. And this is Rodney Morris. Mr. Morris, last known to be living in Jacksonville, he's wanted for failure to appear on child support, the face of a deadbeat dad. And meet Tyler Witten. Mr. Witten, last known to be living in Oxford, he's wanted for probation revocation on possession of marijuana second. And this is Andre Ramirez. Mr. Ramirez, last known to be living in Anniston, he's wanted for failure to pay on domestic violence third, harassment. And meet Carl McDonald. Mr. McDonald, last known to be living in Anniston, he's wanted for child support non-payment and failure to appear on assault second, another deadbeat dad. And last up in our lineup this week, Michael Looney. Mr. Looney, last known to be living in Anniston, he's wanted for probation violation on possession of marijuana first ×2. And that's it for the lineup this week. If you know the whereabouts of these folks, please give Crime Stoppers a call at 256-238-1414.
All right, we are back on Calhoun County's Most Wanted, the crazy criminal and the Crime Stoppers segment. Still to come here in just a few minutes, but right now, Probate Judge Alice Martin is with us, getting ready for the election on November the 8th. Of course, we've got the presidential election, but also so many other things. And every ballot is different. In Calhoun County, we've got a different ballot from anywhere else in the country, right?
Sure. The ballot, and you'll just have one ballot style in Calhoun County. But I want to remind folks, you can get a sample ballot by going to calhouncounty.org, and on our homepage, in the middle of the page, is an icon you can click on. It says November 8th, 2016 General Election Sample Ballot. You can click on that icon and pull up the sample ballot. It's also printable if you have a printer at home. And then you can educate yourself on what you want to vote on, because certainly a voter does not have to vote for everything on a ballot. But I will state that there are 14 amendments on our ballot this time. And if you are interested in learning more about those amendments, there is something now called the Fair Ballot Commission. And that board of folks in Montgomery does an analysis of each amendment and provides the voter with the analysis of, if you vote no, it means this. If you vote yes, it means this.
In plain language, instead of the way it's actually written. If we just look at the actual amendment as it's written in Montgomery for the legislature, most of us couldn't understand it. Matthew may be able to.
It's very confusing, very confusing. And that's one of our, I think that's the biggest complaint we get when we talk about these or post these on our social media page, everybody says, I don't understand this. And I'm going, well, I do because people have talked to me about it, not because I read it and understood it. So some of these are very important, and everybody needs to be educated on it.
Do we want to talk about any of those specific amendments? Or?
Well, not specifically, but I would like to say that if you want a copy of the analysis for review, you can come to the probate office at 1702 Noble Street and get a copy of our report that was sent to us from Montgomery. And you can also get a copy of this at the Secretary of State's website, sos.alabama.gov. And again, click on Elections toolbar at the top of the page, and the icon is Research Statewide Ballot Measures. You would click on that, and that is the report from the board of the analysis of each and every amendment that will be on your ballot on November the 8th.
Some people would say this is the most important part of the ballot because the experts will tell you that Alabama's already been decided as far as the presidential voting goes. Now, I'm certainly not saying that to discourage anybody for voting for the candidate they choose for president. That is very important.
It is.
But these are issues that will have impact on people here in Alabama that certainly have not been decided yet.
Yep. Amendment 10 is specifically for Calhoun County. So there's things there that how that passes or doesn't pass will affect us directly.
So it's very important that people A, know what's going to be on that ballot, and B, understand what it means and how sometimes you'll get confused if you haven't read up a little bit. You'll be confused. Right. Okay, do I want to vote yes to get what I want, or do I want to vote no to get what I want? That's not always as easy to understand as you might hope.
We had that discussion amongst ourselves before the show started, so it's.
But the analysis that you're talking about does a really good job of explaining that.
Yes, it does, and again, like you said, it's in plain language, and it allows the voter to decide for themselves how they want to vote on each amendment.
And this is from a committee that's nonpartisan. It's not one group saying, okay, we're going to word this so we convince people to vote the way we want it. It's people that are just trying to make it as easy to understand as possible without guiding you in either direction. So again, where can people find that?
You can get a copy of it at the probate office at 1702 Noble Street, or you can get a copy at any probate office in the state of Alabama of any amendments that might be on the ballot in each county. And you can also get a copy of the report at sos.alabama.gov, which is the Secretary of State's website.
All right, so the main message, we're about out of time now, but Judge Martin, I guess the main message is, A, vote on November the 8th, B, prepare yourself to vote before November the 8th.
That's exactly right.
All right. Well, if anybody wants to get in touch with your office, you're easy to find, aren't you?
Yes, you can call me at 256-241-2825.
All right. Judge Alice Martin, probate judge for Calhoun County, we appreciate your time, and
thank you, Chris.
Good luck with the upcoming election. I know you and the sheriff will both be very, very busy.
Absolutely.
All right. We will be right back in just a few moments with the Crime Stoppers segment of our show, and we're going to see a tree get arrested in our crazy criminal segment when we can come back.
AOD Federal Credit Union. You already know their friendly staff and great loan products. So here's reason number 8 to choose AOD FCU, a new all-platinum Visa credit card. Call 1-800-637-0299 or visit AODFCU.com to start earning 1% cash back on purchases. Your good credit earns you a better rate. A new Platinum Visa card. Another reason you belong at AOD Federal Credit Union.
Ready for a new ride? Get ready for Rig. I'm Rig A. Marole, and I am ready with all the fancy jargon, made-up expenses, marketing gimmicks, and flat-out lies that you've come to expect when you go car shopping. You want to pay way too much for a piece of junk like this? Get a load of me, Rig A. Marole, at your neighborhood used car dealer. I'll have you marolling off this lot in your new vehicle.
I'm Marty Boyles, and I guarantee no rigmarole here at Jacksonville Auto Sales. Just good cars and trucks at fair prices. We're in Jacksonville across from Walmart, or find us on the web at jascars.com. Remember, Jacksonville Auto Sales, home of the no rigmarole deal.
I have a lot of land that I have to keep up I'd recommend Mahindra. I've never had any trouble with mine. Like I said, I do a lot of bush hogging. I do a lot of garden tilling. The service department has been great. Every time I've ever called or needed anything done, they have done it for me.
Hey folks, come see us at Foothills Tractor. We're your one-stop shop for anything you need. Locally owned, locally operated, give you the best customer service guaranteed.
Amazing grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
A crackhead, drug addict, alcoholic, meth freak, a wretch like me.
I once was.
Homeless,
Broken. Sad.
just lost. But now I am sober.
Happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
The Ford brand has always brought you impressive style and legendary quality, and Sonny King Ford brings you the lowest price and the largest inventory, new or pre-owned. The new 2015 F-150 gets the best gas mileage of any truck without giving up its powerful towing capacity. The iconic new 2015 Mustang, with its classic pony car looks and hunkered down stance, preserves a legacy that defines American motoring. For over 93 years, Sonny King Ford, for the best cars and best price.
And welcome to the Crime Stoppers portion of our show, where we ask you to put on your deer stalkers and help our investigators with these cases. First up, on October 16th, a residence on Stone Ridge Road in Anniston was burglarized. They got away with a bunch of electronics. And last up, on January 31st, way back in January 31st, a burglary first occurred at a residence on Hollingsworth Road in Jacksonville. The suspects were a black male and a white male. The suspects stole a large sum of money. That's it for the Crime Stoppers portion of our show. If you have any information on these cases, and we hope you do, please give Crime Stoppers a call at 256-238-1414. Remember, we want your information and not your name.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
All right, so Sheriff, I know you've seen a lot of crazy things in your years in law enforcement.
I have.
Have you ever arrested or seen someone arrest a tree?
I have not.
Would you like to see it?
I would.
All right, if we can get the video on the screen, here we go. This is a man in a tree outfit who was doing his own form of modern art, or I don't know what he's trying to do, but he was intentionally stopping traffic in Portland there by walking out very, very, very slowly into traffic. He was warned not to do it. They gave him a warning the first time. He went back out again.
Just looks like the officers were protecting our forest.
Yeah.
So, they didn't want to see a tree get plowed down by a car.
Oh, and
Save our forest. Renew our rivers.
You love it when the cameras come out for that kind of thing, don't you?
The cameras are out everywhere we go.
Nowadays, you can't avoid them, can you?
Yeah, you can't avoid them. But seeing a guy dressed as a tree is that's a little different. But bless his heart. So.
Anyway, so we thank you for joining us here on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. If you missed part of the program, the good news is this entire show is available on the TV24 website, so you can go watch it in its entirety at tv24.tv. You can also get the lineup and the Crime Stopper segment information available on the Facebook page for the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office. We've got those posted in short form videos for you as well, so you can get that information, see if you recognize somebody or have any information about a crime that's been committed that we need your help with. And we will be back again with a brand new show next week. We thank you for watching, and we will be looking for you again next week, but hopefully not in the lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.